What's up, YouTube? It's Ren the Builder here with Craftwise Studio, and today I'm going to be installing these Fan-tastic fans with that Airstream over there. A couple things you're going to want just right out the gate is you're going to want to get you either some electric or some manual tin snips, number 30 drill bits or 1/8. As you can see, I got a couple down there and one in the drill chuck. Gonna need a drill. I use my skill drill. You're gonna need some sheet metal self-tapping screws. You can also use the ones that came in here. You're gonna need some butyl tape. Another nice to have is a heat gun. Having difficulty finding mine at the moment, or I would have that out too, but either I'm gonna have to look for it when the time comes to heat this up, or I'm gonna have to just heat it up some other way, but it makes it easier to deal with in the cold like this. Some scrapers, have all the components for the fan, and this guy right here, which is pretty important. Also gonna need something to draw the outline with. The Sharpie works pretty well, and Emily has a steel wool, so I'll have to show you guys that whenever she's done with what she's doing. Let's go ahead and get up here and start getting these rivets drilled out. Alright, so the thing about being on Airstream roofs is you definitely want to put your weight where the ribs are. You don't want to get on the spots that don't really have that, so I'm going to try to transition from this point to this point, and I'll work right there. I've already got the top cover off here, so now what I need to do is scrape some of this away, and that should expose the rivets so that I can drill them out. Alright, so this is bolt number 1. If you're not familiar with this process, you probably should use a punch set, but I've done so many rivets at this point that I don't really need it. Just put it on here, your number 30 bit, spin it on, and it's not very smooth. Almost done here. We've got about 2 left. Alright, this last one I might not be able to hold. Yes, okay. So that's all the rivets, and now comes the fun part, which is using the scrapers and getting this caulk up. Alright, so I had Emily bring me some tools, but I'm gonna use this razor to break a line through this seal. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand, and I'll use this to drive the scraper. So maybe between the two I'll be able to get some progress on getting this thing out. Okay, sorry if it's really windy, but I got all of the rivets drilled out. Well, actually I took acetone first and cleaned all of this off, and then took a little bit of steel wool and roughed this up a bit, and now I'm going to use this template to trace out the edges so we can get that to fit. I apologize that this is a little dirty. It's been on the ground. Before that it was in storage and got a little dusty, so we'll put that on there and I'll show you guys what it looks like once I get the template marked with that Sharpie. Alright, the template is drawn. You can see my gloves and the heat gun I was using earlier. Yeah, you can see that it's like the same width pretty much. It's just a little bit of a different shape around the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and try the tin snips and see if I can get that cut out, and then I'll bring the fan up here and see if it's good fit. So I've cut it out. I was a little conservative, so it may not fit, but we're about to try it. Put the fan up here and see if it works. Took a little bit and just, you know, taking a little bit more off and off until this fit, but it fits and it's pretty much a perfect fit, so there's no movement. It looks really good, and we've got it facing opening this way in case you're going down the road. You forget to you forget to close it and secure it. It's not going to fly off or anything like that. So we got this. Now the next thing is we're going to use the butyl tape, run that around. I'm going to use a heat gun to just form that, and then we'll start drilling into it and get it secured down. Alright, so you can see the butyl tape is up underneath here. We don't have any screws in yet, so you can kind of, if you lift it up, you can see we just put it along the edge and it fit perfectly. And again, make sure you're putting it with the closed end in the front, open it in the back, so that it doesn't fly off when you're driving. It took me about 3 hours, give or take. And Emily's been helping me. She's been helping me get tools and running around situating all this, and now we're gonna run to the store because I want to use stainless steel self-tapping screws, and then the only thing left to really say, if I can't get it on video because it's kind of getting dark, is you just want to go ahead and pre-drill all of that. You don't want to just like send it through, because you can and will crack that plastic housing, and it's expensive to replace, so don't do that. Yeah, it's pretty simple, and the heat gun helps, but it's not necessary. It's just pretty cold out, so if you're not looking to deal with it in the cold, just wait till summer or spring to get this done. Well, I'm not sure anyone loves the idea of being on top of an Airstream at night, but I'm trying to get this done, so just gonna kind of demonstrate how I do it. What I do is make sure I'm anchored there, get me a hole going. Before I do any more holes, I'm gonna fasten this one down, and then I'll do one at each end. And then as I fasten these down, the skin should come up to it, but you don't want to just put the screws in there without doing that, because first of all, they're Phillips heads and they strip super easy, and the second thing is you don't want to chance stripping those out and then having a nightmare to deal with up here on top of the Airstream. So I'm gonna do that work, and then I'll show you guys. So the thing about these two is you don't want to fasten them all the way down yet until you have each corner tensioned, and then once you do, go ahead and finish it. But that's not what you get two of them in. You get this corner, this corner, this corner, this corner. That kind of acts just like, sort of like how you would loosen and tighten a tire. Kind of the same concept. It just keeps everything evenly distributed as far as pressure. Alright, this last one here. In, alright. That's everything. Okay, Em, go ahead and open her up. Let's see what she looks like. Of course, I'll be running another feed of caulk along this as well, just to make sure everything looks good. Looks good. Alright, go ahead and close her. It's gonna rain tonight in a little bit, so we'll double check and make sure that everything looks good. The rest we're gonna do some other day because we've run out of daylight, but the bottom definitely needs to get Sikaflex. Well, actually we use Volcom, but same thing. So we'll put caulk on the bottom, and then we'll make sure we run a nice bead along the top. Just keep everything that could possibly be an issue out. And yeah, that's basically it. Walk up underneath and show you what it looks like from the inside. Alright, so this is what the inside looks like. We're going to put some caulk here on the inside just to make sure that we're keeping any water out, and then once we put the skins on, there'll be a bottom component that goes over this, and you have to actually cut this out for the skins just like you do with the windows. But it looks pretty good. I actually haven't used this before, but you've already seen it open, so it looks pretty good, and we're pretty happy with it. So that was all for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next update.